Hi Best Buds, it's Cathy with Cathy's Garden, and I'm so happy that you've joined me today. Today we're going to do a quick envelope junk journal, but first let's have our shout out to Catherine, Historical Buff, Melanie, Christy B65, Nancy, Sharon, and Carrie. I appreciate each and every one of you. All right, you guys, this is not what I was going to make today, but I found this on my crafting table, and I thought, oh, this is what I want to do today. So let me move my table here just real quick. Okay, there we go. I'm a little better now. All right, so what I have already done is these envelopes have been coffee dyed, all of them. This one is a little kind of funky paper here. It's got some pink going on. That's really pretty. And inside, they have already been lined with papers from Artie Mays. That's what these papers were. I got these from. And then I have a few just coffee dyed copy papers, and they've just been coffee dyed. So this is how I would like to begin. I'm going to take my largest envelope, and this is going to be the back and the flap. So do I want this with it, or do I want this to be my flap for everyone to see, or do I want this one to be my flap? I think I want this one to be my flap because everyone's going to see this flap. It's going to close the journal. So I'm going to start with this one right here, and I'm going to just put it up high. I'm not going to put everything right in the middle this time. I'm going to move it up so it's up closer to the top, and I'm just going to turn this over like this, and I'm going to put my glue right here. So I am going to use my white school glue, my Elmer's glue. It has just a tiny bit of water, but not much. And I am going to just put it on my flap of my envelope, and then I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to brush it smooth. All right, so then I'm going to just close it just like that. So that is going to be one of my layers in my journal, one of the pages. Now I'd like to take the smaller one, and I would like to put it right down here. Not all the way to the bottom, but just a little bit. It's about the same distance that this one is from the top, this one is from the bottom. And I'm going to do the exact same thing, and I'm going to apply my glue, and I'm going to just spread it out with my paintbrush. Okay, just like that. Now what I would like to do is, I got to wipe this up so I don't get my envelope stuck on here. That would not be good. Just make sure that that has really grabbed the paper. All right, so we've got this one here, and we've got this one here. Now what I think I would like to do is put this one here. So this is going to be like the closure, like here, and you open it, and then you have this, and then this, and then this. So what I'd like to do is, I think this is where I would like to put some papers, in this spot here. So I'm going to fold these papers in thirds. I'm going to move this out of the way. I need to probably just go wash it, but I need it for one more time. I need it to glue on the top part. I'm just eyeballing it here. I guess I could measure. That would make more sense. So it's 4 inches, so I think I want to make this maybe 3.5. Move this everything out of the way, and let's get this 3.5. So is that going to be fairly even? Sure is. Sure is. That's what I'm wanting. I wanted to get 3 pages out of here. Now, is that going to fit right in here? That's the question. Yes, it surely is. Okay. It sure is going to fit in here. I'm just checking it out just to make sure I'm getting this straight. This one's going to fold out. Okay, let's go ahead and fold another one. Oops, I just dropped one on the floor. Now this one, I think I would like to cut. Don't think I want this one to be folded in on itself. So I'm going to go ahead and get my scissors, and I'm going to trim this one right here. Or maybe let's just rip it with my tear ruler. That might work a little easier. There we go. That's very nice. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so then we can fold this way. We can add this in. This one here, I want to tear it down just a little bit more. So I'm just adding papers, and I'm just getting different pieces, I should say, of paper and adding them. There we go. Adding them so that we can add them into the journal. So there's an assortment of paper there. And I think what we need to do, I think I need to turn this one to be this way, so that when you put it in, this will be put in like this. I hope you're following this. So then you would be having your papers here. So let's move our papers down to be about right there. I think that would be the best spot. Put this on, and then we will see where we're sewing this on our flap. I can take this off without moving it. Okay, we're going to sew it right there on our flap. So what we'll need to do, we're sewing our papers into our envelope. So I need to get myself a piece of scrap paper. That's not long enough. Let's see here. I think I have another piece of scrap paper here. Is this long enough? Not really. All right, let me grab a piece of scrap paper that's long enough. All right, I have one here. So I'm just going to mark with my pencil right here. And this is where I need to cut here, and then I'm just going to cut down a strip. I'm trying to show you more of my process of how I make things. And so this video might look a little different than my other ones, and that everything is not just all prepared and ready to go, because I'm making it from scratch. So I hope that's okay with everyone. I folded it in the middle. Now I'm going to fold the two ends together, because this is my little template for where I'm going to put my holes to sew in my signature. I'm going to fold it one more time end to end, and then I'm going to crease it. I'm going to open it back up, and where the creases intersect is where I'm going to put my little dot. Dot, dot, dot. That way it's evenly spaced, and I don't have to try to figure it out with the ruler, because let's just face it, I am rotten at that. Just rotten to the core. So we're going to add in our signature. little template, and then we're going to get our, yes, our paper clips, which are not on the table. All right, I've got my large paper clips, and I am going to place my paper clips right here on the ends. I need to hold this in place so that I can sew my signature. Okay, not too bad. Maybe a couple more, just to make sure. Okay, we've got that done. So now we look like this. Okay, my signature's in here. I've got my guide, and that's just where I want it. I think I might need to move it down just a little bit. That'll be fine. It'll be okay. All right, so then I'm going to take my pokey tool. I know it has a name. I'm not sure what the name is. And I'm going to poke a hole here, and I'm poking my hole right where my little marks are. Okay, and my last one. Okay, I've got my 3 holes poked. I'll get my sewing needles, and I want a small one. Here we go. Here's a small one. I don't want the hole to be any larger than it has to be. And I have selected some very thin but strong thread. I don't want the thread to be real fat either, because I'm just going through an envelope, the little, flap of an envelope. So it's not like it's super strong. It is stronger than a normal envelope because of the fact that I have lined it with some paper. So there we go. Now, you want to measure yourself 3 times. And I always do, it always is a little extra, but that's okay, because if you run out while sewing a signature, you got to start again, and then sometimes your holes get way too big and it just turns out real wonky. So I always rather have more string than not enough. So 1, I'm measuring, 2, I'm measuring, 3, and then that's where I just clip it off. This is plenty, 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 plenty. Once again, it's better to have more than not enough. Now, you start at the very center, your hole that's in the center, but you've got to remove your guide. So gently remove your guide without disturbing your holes. And did I disturb my holes? No, I did not. So start in the center, pull your thread a knot all the way through. You're going to leave yourself a tail. Okay. And then you're going to find another hole, and you're going to go in from the outside. You're going to go in and try to find those exact holes, and it's usually an angle. Oh, I'm getting tangled. I'm going back this way to see if I can find that angle. See if I can make it go together, and it's not going together. Of course it's not. This one is out of alignment. Here we are. I'm trying to get it back aligned. This happens, so it's okay that it happened to me, so I can show you. So now I found my alignment. I'm going back in. Okay, what has happened? Nothing. Yes. I'm confused. Oh my goodness, we're going to have to start again, guys. Okay, down from the center, up from the back. There we go. Can you see that? See my string there? Then we're going to go back in from this on the other side. All right, now we're going to go back in the center. And you want to go on the opposite side of that center string. So when you're finished, you have a string on either side of the center string here. Okay? All right, we've got it in there. Now I'm going to remove my needle and I'm going to tie, making sure that everything's flat on this side. That's very important that you check on the other side to make sure it's flat, that it hasn't caught on something or is twisted or whatever could be wrong with it. And believe me, things can go wacky. So just check, and then that's good. Now I'm going to go ahead and snip it off because I'm not going to put any jewels or any bubbles on that. All right, so we've got our signature sewn in. Now let's take our paper clips back off. Now see, this is the front cover. Open it up, and here's our signature that we have just sewn in. Now you can sew in whatever you want. If you want some music paper, or you want whatever kind of paper, tissue paper, tracing paper, but I just made it just coffee dyed paper. So now we're going to glue the cover onto it'll be like that. Okay, so I'm just going to take my school glue again, or my watered down Elmer's glue, and I'm going to place it on my flap. I'm going to grab my little brush again, and I'm just going to even it out, brush it on, so that's just nice and even, it's not globby. And then I'm going to fold it right over, making sure that everything is going to fit before I really start pushing it down. Making sure this is exactly what I want. Okay, now let's look inside, okay? There's our flap. That's what our closure is going to be for our little envelope journal. We're going to open it up, and then we have a few journaling pages that we added. And this one flips out like that. So that's very nice journaling space. Then we have a nice envelope again, a tuck spot. We have another one, and then we have our back. Oh, you guys, I've absolutely loved making this with you. I hope you enjoy it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.